Howdy, y'all. It is go time in bees. We are coming into that season where our bees are building up like crazy. So get ready for your splits. This is what we're doing here at Charlie Bee Company. I'm working with Harold, and we are putting together our boxes, and we are putting together a special type of kit that I want to show you. It's a unique approach to small scale commercial, and I'll share that with you here in a second. But yeah, be checking your bees, be feeding your bees, be watching for those great big hives that are getting ready to swarm, be watching for swarm cells. It's that time of year where we're kind of still hedging our bets, waiting to split and waiting for queens to be available. Once queens are available, we can split, we can get ready. If you're a new beekeeper, you're prepping for your new nukes in the end of April, or whatever you're doing in bees, 'tis the season to get rolling. And so if we can be a service to you, let us know. We're here in South Seguin, Charlie Bee Company, charliebee.com. Join me here. We're going to check out how we do large-scale beekeeping like a small-scale operation. I just got this cool neck mount for my phone, so you get to follow along as I work. This is my little messy workspace. We are in a factory mode right now, getting ready for spring. This is a beater old bottom board, homemade bottom board that I'm just scraping the gunk off of. It was probably a dead out, definitely a dead out. This is definitely a dead out, a failed hive that's got wax moth in it, so I'm going to scrape those wax moth cocoons off of there. I don't mind wax moth. I hate the divots, but that's fine. I'll just scrape the cocoons off. The bees don't mind. They work right around it. A little more wax moth cocoon. I'm really good at raising wax moth. In fact, you should join the Wax Moth Breeders Association, by the way. So all I'm doing here is tacking the bottom board on with this special stapler I have. It's a 1-inch crown stapler made by DeWalt. I'm not sponsored by DeWalt. I actually sponsor DeWalt, if that makes sense. So DeWalt is sponsored by Charlie Agar. So there's my box. It's real solid. The bottom is on there, right? So it's tacked on. And then here I'm going to put on these D-rings. I just got these off Amazon. Nice burly D-rings. I got a whole bunch of them, so I tried to get a deal. I use these sharp-pointed screws for wood, and so they kind of drill their own hole as they go. It's not for metal, it's for wood, so they work really nice. They're lath screws with big wide heads, so I'm able to attach our D-ring. And the D-ring, we put it in the back. In subsequent versions, we put the D-ring in the front so that we were tying the knot in the back, and you'll see that in a second here. But then I just bought this cheap little hook, and I'm going to put the hook on here I'm putting it on the front. Like I said, I switched to the back for subsequent versions. But what we're doing is setting it up so we can actually string this hive together so it fits together and it's solid like a little Yeti cooler. And so we can do a migratory beekeeping operation without having to buy forklifts and all that good stuff. I learned this from a guy at a conference. I was bemoaning my state and not being able to afford a fancy Hummer Bee forklift, which is my dream. And he said, hey, this is the way you could do it. Just do it this way. We had to do a little bit of branding because, man, I want people to see who we are. Also, if you steal my boxes, I want to know it. So this is our little stencil. My good friend Kenny Mays from Lockhart Honey Company made this for me with a CNC machine. Pretty cool. He's a good beekeeper. And here I have what I think is the most important component of expanding and making splits is our drawn comb. It's got a little bit of wax moth on it. I don't like that wax moth, but it is nice drawn comb, older comb. The bees will take to that really well. I just put 2 frames in there, and then I used a mother load feeder. I like these because it kind of recesses and the bees can get to it even if it's just a flat top lid. So I have just 2 frames and a feeder. I'll be introducing 5 frames of bees for my split into this later. So we're getting prepped for our spring splits. This is an inner cover. It's got a bunch of old wax on it. Doesn't bother me. I like old wax. And then it's a little beat up, but it'll do the trick. And the last piece here is just a little bit of string, whatever you got. I've got this from Home Depot. It's kind of a rope, nylon rope. It's good stuff. You can buy cheap stuff. This is my little electronic cutter that I use for everything. It's really awesome. And then here I'm using just a cheap heat gun from Harbor Freight to seal those ends. That works real nice. You could also just use a lighter, right? Just use a lighter to seal those ends and so it doesn't fray. So now I've got my string and I'm going to go ahead and strap this together. This is the secret sauce for making our little, I call them little Yeti coolers. If you don't know how to do a bowline, I don't know if this video will help you do it, but that's how I do it. It's like around the corner and through the hole and up the fox. I don't know what it is, but that's a bowline. I like bowlines because it's a closed loop that is easy to take apart, even if you put a lot of weight on it. This is the secret sauce. This is the alpine butterfly. So I just wrap it around my hand 3 times, grab that little string and put that through, and that makes another loop in the middle of the string, and I can really haul on. This is basically a trucker's hitch. So I go around and I'm going to be able to haul down really hard on this, boop, 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 and put a couple little half hitch type deals here just to close it off. Now it's really solid. I can, even if it's heavy and full of weight, I can throw it around like a Yeti cooler. And then we do this at scale. That way I don't have to worry about how much it weighs. It's gonna be a little lighter than 10 frame. I've got to do all of these boxes. So if anybody has some free time, come on over and I'll put you to work. And that's how we build our little mobile apiary for springtime. All right, I hope that was useful for y'all. It's just one approach. It's the way we're gonna do it. It avoids having us to buy a big Ford F-550 with a flatbed and forklifts and all that expensive stuff. Keep it simple here at Charlie B. So join us this Saturday. Harold is going to be doing a talk all about kind of revamping equipment, re-waxing, getting ready for the season without having to buy a ton of new stuff. Come join us Saturdays, 9 a.m. We typically do a topic and a demonstration, and we're looking forward to seeing you then. Until then, happy beekeeping, everybody.